In the shadowed corners of your mind, where ambition whispers its seductive lies, lies a truth that could shatter your chains. You've been chasing goals like a loyal hound pursues a thrown bone, oblivious to the invisible leash tightening around your neck. But what if I told you there's a way to slip that noose? A path not paved with rigid targets, but woven from silent strategy and unyielding insight. Today, I'll guide you through the veil of illusion, revealing how the world's true masters don't dream of destinations. They orchestrate the game itself. This isn't about abandoning drive. It's about transcending it, evolving from a pawn in ambition's grand theater to the unseen director pulling the strings. Let us begin at the heart of the deception. Goals, those glittering beacons society thrusts upon us, are presented as the keys to freedom. From self-help gurus to corporate coaches, the mantra echoes: define your purpose, set smart objectives, visualize success. Yet, in this relentless pursuit, we rarely pause to question the architect of these chains. Who benefits when you broadcast your aspirations? Who gains leverage from your predictability? The answer lies in the subtle mechanics of power, where visibility is vulnerability and silence is supremacy. Picture the dead of night, when the masses slumber under the weight of their checklists and vision boards. The elite, the titans of industry, the shadowy influencers, the historical conquerors, they're not scribbling aspirations or broadcasting their dreams to the void. No, they're calculating moves like grandmasters in a cosmic chess match, shifting pieces with a whisper while the weak shout their intentions to the stars. These masters understand that true power isn't about declaring war. It's about winning it before the first shot is fired. They operate in the realm of leverage, where perception shapes reality more than brute force ever could. You've been sold the fairy tale. Set your goals, map your purpose, chart a straight path like a child's crayon drawing of a flawless road. It's a comforting narrative, one that promises control in a chaotic world. But pause and reflect. How often have those very goals morphed into cages? How many times has your ironclad discipline felt like the unyielding bars of fate itself? Consider the entrepreneur who vows to hit $1 million milestone by year's end, only to find themselves compromising ethics, burning bridges, and sacrificing health in a desperate sprint. Or the artist fixated on gallery fame, churning out soulless work to fit a mold, their creativity stifled by self-imposed deadlines. These are not anomalies. They are the inevitable fallout of a system designed to keep you tethered. You're not hunting power, it's hurting you. Goals paint a target on your back, making you predictable, a blueprint for others to exploit. Reveal your ambitions, and you've handed over the reins. This is the ironclad first law of psychological warfare. The one who bears their hunger invites the handler. In the animal kingdom, the prey that signals its path is the first to fall. Similarly, in human dynamics, your declared goals become tools for manipulation. A rival knows exactly how to sabotage you. A superior dangles just enough incentive to keep you compliant. And even well-meaning friends offer advice that subtly steers you off course. To illustrate, cast your mind back to the opulent courts of Renaissance Italy, a labyrinth of intrigue where ambition was both currency and curse. Noblemen strutted like peacocks, declaring their thirst for ascent, loyalty, and dominion. I shall rise to advise the prince, one might proclaim at a lavish banquet. My house will rule this city, another boasts in gilded halls. Their foes smiled knowingly, dangling just the right bait, promises of glory, sparks of fear, illusions of reward. These ambitious souls weren't ruled by kings, but by the very dreams they clutched like lifelines. Poisoned chalices, false alliances, whispered scandals. The tools were varied, but the outcome was the same: downfall orchestrated by their own transparency. The survivors. They were ghosts in the machine, masking their cravings behind serene facades. Figures like Niccolò Machiavelli himself, who penned The Prince not as a manifesto of overt ambition, but as a manual for subtle dominion. They feigned satisfaction in defeat, bided time in obscurity, and struck only when the stars aligned. For real power isn't seized by proclamations. It's claimed through patient observation. Machiavelli advised princes to appear merciful while being ruthless, to seem faithful while adapting alliances. This wasn't hypocrisy. It was survival in a world where goals were weapons turned inward. Don't fool yourself. Your sleek modern world mirrors those gilded halls more than you'd admit. Every time you trumpet your goals to colleagues, bosses, or social feeds, posting about your fitness journey on Instagram, updating your LinkedIn with career milestones, or sharing quarterly targets in team meetings, you're forging their weapons. They dangle promotions, withhold approvals, tease with just enough to keep you leashed. In the gig economy, freelancers announce their income goals only to be undercut by clients who sense desperation. On social media, influencers declare follower milestones, inviting algorithms and competitors to manipulate visibility. Society exalts ambition, but only to domesticate it, turning wild stallions into plow horses. Scan any office ladder, corporate pyramid, or online arena. The loudest goal shouters ascend at a crawl, trapped in linear paths ripe for ambush. They're the ones who burn out in spectacular fashion, their straight-line trajectories intercepted by unforeseen obstacles, market shifts, personal crises, or calculated betrayals. The strategist, though, they weave in elegant arcs, feigning one direction while amassing leverage in the shadows. Think of tech moguls like Elon Musk, who publicly chase Mars colonization while quietly building empires in energy and AI. His goals are spectacles, distractions that mask deeper plays. Goals are brittle steel. Power flows like mercury, adapting to every crevice. This is why so many toil as slaves to their own scripts, mistaking frenzy for command, drive for supremacy. They tout clarity as armor, blind to how it spotlights their vulnerabilities. Who gains from your transparency? The overlords above, who now calibrate your incentives like puppet strings, offering bonuses tied to metrics that serve their agenda, not yours. The underlings below, who spot your soft spots for sabotage, perhaps leaking ideas or stirring dissent. A general who broadcasts his assault court's disaster as Sun Tzu warned in The Art of War. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. A leader who unveils their vision prematurely invites daggers in the dark, much like modern CEOs ousted in boardroom coups after overzealous announcements. Even in the intimate arena of love, the one who confesses desires first, craving commitment, praise, or adoration, surrenders the high ground, granting the other emotional dominion. Dating apps amplify this. Profiles brimming with seeking long-term partnership become easy marks for players who exploit vulnerability. Power's genesis? A profound silence brimming not with dread, but with cunning calculus. The crowd mislabels it as aloofness, deceit, or hubris, but it's pure self-preservation. In psychology, this aligns with concepts like strategic ambiguity, where withholding information maintains advantage in negotiations or relationships. The goal-obsessed soul crumbles when fate deviates, scrambling in desperation, tethering self-worth to a phantom timeline. Studies in behavioral economics, like those on loss aversion by Daniel Kahneman, show how fixating on targets amplifies pain from setbacks, leading to irrational decisions. The strategist, unbreakable, unbound by singular endpoints. They treat life as a fluid board of positions, content to feign inertia if it yields tomorrow's edge, happy to wander while others loop in futile sprints. This mindset echoes Stoicism, as Marcus Aurelius noted. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. True liberation blooms when you reject the chase altogether. Erase those goals, not because ambition is poison, but because it must simmer unseen, splintered into adaptable fragments. Craft strategies in their stead. Forge habits that propel you quietly, like daily rituals of learning or networking without fanfare. Unmoor your ego from results and root it in the mastery of motion, the art of pivoting seamlessly. Power doesn't flock to the desperate. It gravitates to the astute observer, the one who watches trends unfold and positions accordingly. Imagine applying this in your career. Instead of declaring, "I want to be VP in 5 years," you build alliances subtly, acquire skills in emerging fields, and observe power vacuums. When opportunity knocks, you're ready, appearing as the natural choice rather than the overt climber. In personal growth, swap lose 20 pounds for cultivating sustainable wellness practices, allowing progress to emerge organically without self-flagellation. But shedding goals is merely the gateway, the first step in dismantling the fortress of illusion. Now confront the deeper snare, desire itself, that blazing inferno peddled as your ultimate fuel. It roars with vitality, promising to bend the cosmos to your will if only you want it badly enough. Self-help empires are built on this myth, the secret's law of attraction, motivational speakers thundering about passion's power. Yet like any wildfire, it devours its bearer first, leaving ashes where resolve once stood. You've been indoctrinated that passion propels triumph, that raw want summons miracles. Harsh reality. The universe doesn't bow to longing. It exploits it, using your cravings as hooks for control. The victors? They trade craving for cold computation, emerging as puppeteers of fate. This shift from emotional turbulence to analytical calm is the hallmark of enduring success. Desire breeds turmoil. Calculation claims sovereignty, providing a steady hand amid storms. Tyrants, schemers, and ascendant minds throughout time grasped this chasm. They didn't lust for thrones, they quantified them, assessing risks, alliances, and timings with detached precision. Impulse yielded to positioning, ensuring every move maximized advantage. Survey history's fallen crowns. Monarchs toppled not for lack of zeal, but because yearning clouded their sight, sparking unwinnable wars, doomed romances, fatal trusts. King Henry VIII of England, driven by desire for a male heir and romantic entanglements, fractured his kingdom and invited endless intrigue. Desire veils truth. Calculation unveils it, revealing paths hidden to the impassioned eye. Take Julius Caesar, whose crown lust painted him a glaring mark, felled by blades from supposed allies in the Senate. Had he opted for shadowed strings over spotlighted glory, humility masking might. He'd have reigned eternal, perhaps as a puppet master rather than emperor. You echo this folly on smaller stages, yearning for acclaim, affirmation, victory blinds you, rendering you legible to manipulators. In the workplace, the employee desperate for promotion reveals weaknesses in negotiations, accepting less than deserved. The fiercer your hunger, the simpler your strings to pull. Corporations ensnare shoppers this way with targeted ads preying on impulses. Demagogues corral devotees with promises fueling unmet needs. Paramours dominate the needy by withholding affection strategically. Your wants, their commands. This dynamic is rooted in game theory, where revealed preferences allow opponents to predict and counter your moves. Pivot now. Swap. What do I crave? For what sways the world, and how do I harness it? Emotion fuels the former. The latter seizes reality, turning observation into opportunity. Cease pursuing prizes. Engineer the arena, creating conditions where success becomes inevitable. Like a chess virtuoso, spot patterns over glory, advancing not from whim, but from layered intent, ensnaring the fervent fool who mistakes emotion for edge. In chess, grandmasters like Garry Kasparov didn't win by passion alone, but by calculating dozens of moves ahead, sacrificing pieces for positional dominance. Apply this to life. In investing, don't chase hot stocks out of greed. Analyze market fundamentals and wait for mispricings. In relationships, don't demand commitment from desire. Build mutual value through subtle actions. Banish desire, and alchemy unfolds. Reactivity fades, supplanted by detached precision mistaken for enigma. In a cacophony of broadcast needs, social media feeds overflowing with chakra goals and vision boards, your silence commands gaze. They'll dub you aloof, passionless, but you've ascended to surgical acuity, acting when stars converge. Not when urges howl, delay not from cowardice, but command. As in the art of timing emphasized by traders who wait for market signals rather than forcing trades. Envision a negotiator radiating indifference, no trace of desperation. The opposition unravels, concessions spilling forth in their eagerness to close. That's calculation's core, feigned apathy steering the symphony. In your realm, how often has overt care cost you leverage? Emotion propels rash leaps, impulse buys, heated arguments, hasty career jumps, while the world yields to those who await its whisper, like patient anglers who let the fish tire before reeling in. Calculation isn't sluggish, it's surgical, a deliberate incision rather than wild swings. Trade I yearn for I scheme, crafting plans with contingencies. I sense for I assess, weighing evidence objectively. I wish for I fortify, building resilience against setbacks. Freedom surges. Unpredictable, you eclipse the desire bound, their flares exposing frailties while your strategic ember glows steady, unquenchable. This liberation isn't isolation, it's elevation. Without desire's fog, you perceive nuances others miss. The micro-expressions in a meeting, the market undercurrents, the relational subtleties. You're no longer a reactant in life's equation, but the catalyst, shaping reactions around you. Yet a desireless world demands navigation, a compass for motion amid calm. Enter the pinnacle, mastery via adaptability. The frail clutch constancy, viewing flexibility as weakness. The mighty wield flux as their greatest weapon. You've been urged to stand unyielding, path immutable, self-immutable. Be true to yourself, the adage goes. But rigidity invites ruin. Empires crumbled under inflexible weight when tides turned, like the Roman Empire's failure to adapt to barbarian tactics or the Soviet Union's economic stagnation. The potent don't hoard consistency. They morph with finesse, donning guises sans remorse. A storm-felled oak stands rigid, its branches snapping under pressure. A serpent glides unscathed, coiling around obstacles. Who endures? In power's theater, flexibility cloaks survival, outlasting to dominate. This principle is evident in nature's evolution, where adaptable species thrive while specialists perish. Behold the Medici, Florence's enduring titans, thriving not via brute force but chameleon grace. Pious under papal sway, they funded cathedrals and curried favor with the Vatican. Mercantile and trades boom, they established banks that financed kings. Artistic patrons when culture reigned, commissioning Michelangelo and Da Vinci, their fealty. Not to facade, but to enduring sway, amassing wealth and influence across centuries. Contemporary dogma preaches authenticity as sanctity, but it's a shackle in a fluid world. Predictability arms adversaries. They anticipate, manipulate, knowing you'll react with anger to provocation or cling to principles in negotiations. Flexibility? It breeds enigma, unclassifiable, elusive, lethal. Crave comprehension or compliance? Uniformity or efficacy? The former comforts the ego. The latter secures victory. The adept strategist discards roles like shed skins, fluid as water, yielding through fissures or eroding granite, conforming yet unaltered in essence. Water's power lies in its formlessness, as Lao Tzu described in the Tao Te Ching. Nothing in the world is softer and weaker than water. But for attacking the hard and strong, there is nothing like it. Rigidity? Ego's veneer of fortitude crumbling under sustained pressure. True essence persists beneath shifting veneers. Every guise fueling influence's expansion. In business, this means pivoting products based on market feedback, like how Netflix shifted from DVD rentals to streaming. In politics, leaders like Franklin D. Roosevelt adapted ideologies to crises, implementing New Deal reforms that blended socialism and capitalism. Psychologically, adaptability unmoors foes. They can't pin you, sowing disarray you harvest as dominion. In debate, concede unexpectedly, steering via surrender. A tactic from jiu-jitsu where you use an opponent's force against them. Calm titans absorb assaults, redirecting with poise. You can't shatter the evasive. They flow around blows. Cultivate this by ditching validation's thirst. Feign frailty for gain, as in undercover operations where appearing weak draws out enemies. Mute for impact, letting silence amplify your words when spoken. Withdraw to ambush, retreating strategically to regroup stronger. Bend as rivals stiffen, pivot as they petrify. Adapt amid moral quagmires where rigid ethics lead to defeat. Resist not the gale, become it, channeling forces rather than opposing them. In modern terms, this is agile methodology in software development, iterating based on feedback rather than sticking to initial plans. Ambition, then, is your finest facade, a mask of fervor veiling inner frost. The world lauds drive overtly, yet devours its slaves covertly. Think of the countless startups that flame out from overambitious scaling. The sage wields it as shield, not soul. The overt hungerer begs exploitation. The performer, feigning zeal sans attachment, evades chains. Alexander the Great embodied this, conquering realms pre-30, not via raw genius alone, but intoxicating illusion. Men chased his seeming boundless fire, blind to the calculated veins. Trade paths exploited, political fractures widened, fears manipulated in conquered lands. Display blaze. Harbor strategy, using ambition's theater to rally troops while planning with maps and spies. Detachment elevates, intensity outward, serenity inward, a duality that confounds. In arenas of commerce, bonds, or social skirmishes, the desperate overplay, oversharing strategies, committing prematurely. Mirror their zeal externally, remain glacial within. Weigh options, strike surgically, as in poker where bluffing with calm wins pots. History idolizes firebrands like Napoleon, but composure endures, adapting to triumph, as he did until ego overrode strategy at Waterloo. This duality gives clarity. Amid rivals' frenzy, discern webs, motives, snares. They battle pawns. You orchestrate the board, moving pieces invisibly. Misread is enigmatic, your gravity pulls orbits. In liaisons, it's allure. The mysterious partner draws pursuit. In discourse, authority, the measured speaker commands respect. In bargains, edge, the unflappable negotiator extracts concessions. A tranquil intellect dons urgency's guise, sinking others to your tempo, conducting, not contending. Mastery demands discipline. Forge detachment through meditation or journaling, transmuting feeling to intel, ambition to theater, drive to spectacle. Praise for your passion becomes ironic tribute, your core a honed edge, sharp and unyielding. Failures, mere recalibrations, mining loss for leverage, like how failed experiments led Edison to the light bulb, viewing each as data, not defeat. If you've internalized this, holding drive without its grip, you're primed for the apex. Channeling emotion to maneuver multitudes, turning others' desires into your tools. Power's essence? Effortless. No labyrinthine plots, just vigilant pause, keen gaze, decisive pounce. Like the lion, unscheduling hunts, attuned to winds and herds. One flawless strike suffices. This predatory simplicity contrasts human bustle, where overplanning masks insecurity. Humans wallow in bustle, mistaking whirl for wisdom, perpetual sprint for progress, endless meetings, to-do lists, affirmations. Ego's itch to act dooms them, leading to burnout and errors. The predator conserves emotion, vigor, motion, expended solely when tides favor, maximizing efficiency. Conquerors didn't wage eternal war. They lurked, letting foes fatigue, then materialized as destiny. Caesar's Rubicon leap? Not frenzy, but scalpel sharp amid Rome's rifts of senatorial division and popular unrest. Not fortune, feral timing, striking when opposition was fractured. When did you last stalk your chance, not hound it? Let rivals bear flaws pre-move, as in sales where patient listening uncovers needs. Impulsive hunters strike on whim, forfeiting to the poised. Power crowns the opportunity stalker, ego slain. Uncertainty embraced sans twitch, like investors waiting for market crashes to buy low. This predatory poise unnerves. Unpatterned, it incites prey's blunders. Weaponized patience, time as scalpel, eroding resolve. In dialogue, hush compels revelations, as therapists use silence to draw out truths. In haggling, composure compels pursuit, the eager party overpaying. In bonds, needlessness dictates terms. The independent partner holds sway. The predator's psyche? Laser-honed, absorbing minutiae sans disclosure, body language, tonal shifts, Behavioral patterns. Feign dormancy. Foes unwind, then eviscerate with precision. Power manifests in outcomes, not fanfare. Quiet acquisitions over flashy announcements. Unlearn effort's idolatry. Cease flaunting toil, care, zeal. That clamor brands you quarry. Embrace hush stasis strategy. Sync with inevitability, not despair. As impulsives implode from haste, harvest their surrender, turning mistakes into your gains. Predatory simplicity transcends physical. It's mental. Mastery of inaction's timing, knowing when to hold as vital as when to fold. One pristine move when cosmos conspires suffices, like a sniper's single shot. Noise versus rule. Toil versus reign. Mortal versus sovereign. The choice is yours. Power isn't wrested, it's bestowed via illusion. The adept don't bellow orders. They sculpt scenarios, stir sentiments, erect subtle scaffolds of sway. Manipulation's pinnacle? Invisibility. The controlled feel liberated, striding into your web as if charting their own course. This is nudging in behavioral science, where subtle cues guide decisions without awareness. Reflect. Are you life's artisan or its medium? Do you summon gaze or beg it? Every exchange is control's subtle duel. Most forfeit unaware, reacting to prompts you can set. Grasp this and you're elite. Ponder it deeply. Dive into strategy's depths, psychology's shadows, power's hush. Spread this wisdom, letting others grasp at influence while you seize its reins. In this expanded understanding, the path to true mastery unfolds not in grand declarations, but in the quiet accumulation of insight, where each lesson builds upon the last, forging a mind unbreakable and unbound.